welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a huge multi-billion-dollar partnership. And this isn't just any deal. We're talking about something that could literally redraw the industrial map of Africa, all thanks to a connection between the continent's biggest business titan and India. So what's at the core of all this? It really boils down to one massive number, over $5 billion. Yeah, that's with a B. That's how much Africa's richest person, Aliko Dangote, is funneling into new orders with Indian companies. And this money is all about supercharging his gigantic refinery and fertilizer plants back in Nigeria. Okay, so this begs the big question, right? Why India? Why is one of Africa's biggest industrial groups betting so heavily on them? Well, like we're about to find out, this goes way beyond just a simple business deal. It's a really strategic move, one that could totally reshape the economic future of an entire continent. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to look at the Titan's big bet, then the huge problem this whole thing solves. After that, we'll dive into the India connection, see why it's a win-win for everyone, and finally, check out the grand vision for the future. All right, let's kick things off with part one, a Titan's big bet. I really want you to get a sense of just how massive this expansion is. Look, we are not talking about a few small upgrades here. The plan is to take what is already the world's largest single-train refinery, and by that, I mean all the processing happens in one giant integrated line, and just completely supercharge it. The end goal? To create this world-class industrial hub for both energy and agriculture. It's huge. But this massive investment, it isn't just about getting bigger for the sake of it. No, it's about tackling a really critical problem that affects the entire continent. And that problem really comes down to one word, reliance. I mean, think about this. Aliko Dangote himself said that when it comes to refined fuel, all African countries are importers with no exception. Every single one. So this project is designed to completely flip that script. The goal is to turn a whole continent of importers into a self-sufficient production powerhouse. And it's not just fuel. The situation with fertilizer is just as dire, if not more so, because there's no local production. Farmers often get their supplies way too late for the planting season. And what does that do? It just cripples agricultural output. So this expansion, it's designed to make fertilizer available right when it's needed, which could be a total game changer for food security across the whole region. Okay, so you've got this massive problem and this incredibly ambitious solution. To pull something like this off, the Dangote Group needed a partner who really knew what they were doing, someone with serious experience. And that's where India comes into the picture. Now, this partnership didn't just pop up overnight. Not at all. It's a relationship that's been building for almost 2 decades. It actually started way back in 2003 with a big cement plant expansion. That first project went so well that it built the trust you need to tackle these kinds of mega projects we're seeing today. And Dangote himself laid out the logic pretty clearly. He said, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, that where Africa is today industrially, well, it's about 15 years behind where India is. So for him, it's a natural partnership. India's recent journey provides a perfect, real-world blueprint for the kind of industrial leap Africa's trying to make. And when you look at the details, the depth of this partnership is just staggering. I mean, for the first phase alone, Indian companies provided over $2.5 billion in equipment. They brought in a workforce of more than 10,000 people for the construction. And they had a state-owned firm, Engineers India Limited, handle the supercritical engineering part. And by all accounts, they did an excellent, marvelous job. Okay, but this is really important to understand. This is not a one-way street. This partnership is designed to create a ton of value for both sides. It's all about strengthening that economic bridge between India and Africa. So what's in it for India? Well, for starters, a huge economic boost. We're talking more than $5 billion in new orders for everything you can imagine, from steel to super complex equipment. And they have to deliver it all in a really tight 18 to 20-month window. This is going to create a substantial number of jobs back in India and really puts their industrial skills on the world stage. And for Africa, the payoff is, honestly, nothing short of transformational. The expanded refinery will be able to supply the entire continent's fuel needs, and then some. This means Africa could actually become an exporter of refined fuels. We're talking about a future with energy independence, real food security, and a brand new, much more powerful position in global trade. And this quote from Dangote just nails it. He says, "We want to domesticate Africa as our market." What does that really mean? It's a vision where the continent produces what it needs for itself, where it controls its own supply chains, and where its economic focus shifts inward, building its own strength. So you can see this is huge for today. But this partnership isn't just about solving today's problems. It's really about laying the groundwork for an even bigger, more ambitious future. Just look at the goal the Dangote Group has set for itself. They want to become a $100 billion revenue company by 2030. That is an audacious goal. And these huge projects, they're the engine that's supposed to get them there. And the success they're already having with the refinery and fertilizer plants is opening up new doors, for what comes next. The group is already looking to deepen this partnership with India, exploring new areas like data centers and mining. They want to keep this successful model going. So all of this leaves us with a pretty big final thought to chew on. Is what we're seeing here a new blueprint for global development? This symbiotic South-South partnership where emerging economies work directly with each other to solve their own problems, build their own futures, and in the process completely reshape the world as we know it.